reading service, a United Way partner agency. We are located on the campus of Fayetteville State University, and our signal is carried by WUNC Chapel Hill. Today is, I don't have any idea, but it's Wednesday, and I'll get that information to you. Let me see. Oh, it's May 2, and it's Wednesday, and your radio host today is Marty Baldwin, and Ralph is on his way in any minute or two. And both of us will be reading from news for today's edition of the Fayetteville Observer. Wonder what they have in store for us today. Here's the weather. Today, 88, mostly sunny. Tonight, 57, clear. Thursday will be 87 and 59. Friday, 89 and 62. Saturday, 86 and 64. Sunday, 83 and 60. Monday, 83 and 56. Tuesday, 80 and 55. That's the weather for the rest of the week. And today in history, again, today is Wednesday, May 2nd, the 172nd day of 2018. There are 243 days left in the year. Today's highlight on May 2, 1908, the original version of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, with music by Albert von Tilzer and lyrics by Jack Norworth, was published by von Tilzer's York Music Company. 1863, during the Civil War, Confederate General Thomas Stonewall Jackson was accidentally wounded by his own men at Chancellorsville, Virginia. He died 8 days later. 1927, the U.S. Supreme Court in Buck versus Bell upheld an 8-1 Virginia law allowing the forced sterilization of people to promote the health of the patient and the welfare of society. In 1946, violence erupted during a foiled escape attempted at the Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary in San Francisco Bay. The Battle of Alcatraz claimed the lives of 3 inmates and 2 correctional officers before it was put down 2 days later. In 1957, crime boss Frank Costello narrowly survived an attempt on his life in New York. The alleged gunman, Vincent the Chin Gigante, was acquitted at trial after Costello refused to identify him as the shooter. In 1994, Nelson Mandela claimed victory in the wake of South Africa's first democratic elections. President F.W. de Klerk acknowledged defeat, and in 2011, Osama bin Laden was killed by elite American forces at his Pakistan compound, then quickly buried at sea after a decade on the run. Birthdays: singer Engelbert Humperdinck, 82, David Suchet, 72, Larry Gatlin, 70, Christine Baranski, 66, Angela Bofill, 64, actress Elizabeth Berridge, 56, country singer Ty Herndon, 56, wrestler turned actor Dwayne Johnson, also called The Rack, 46, soccer player David Beckham, 43, Jetta Von Oy, 41, actress Ellen Kemper, 38, actor Gaius Charles, 35, Olympic gold medal, figure skater Sarah Hughes, 33, rock musician Jim Almgren is 32, actor Thomas McDonald, 32, Kay Panabaker, 28. Well, as usual, I don't really know most of those names. Let's see. Large crowd, but not quite a daily record. How many people attended the North Carolina Zoo on April 14? Was that a record number? Our attendance that day was 13,566, said Kevin Bradford, a public information officer for the zoo. It was not a record, just a beautiful spring Saturday after a long, dreary winter. And early spring, yes, April. The single-day attendance record is 15,250, which was recorded April 15, 2017. That, too, was a Saturday with great weather. The North Carolina Zoo encompasses 2,200 acres in the Uwharrie Mountains near Asheboro. About 500 acres have been developed into the largest natural habitat zoo in the United States, according to the zoo's website. The animals include elephants, giraffes, baboons, gorillas, birds, including ostriches, white rhinoceros, lions, lemurs, and just about any other found in the African jungles or North America. All animals are kept in enclosures that are as close to their habitat as possible. The zoo is open from April to October. Find ticket prices, special events, directions, and more at the website nczoo.org. And Nancy Cleary seeks to answer questions of general interest in consumer topics. Initials are used. Contact Livewire at 486-3516. Oh, where are you, Ralph? Let's see here. The next one will be, let's get in here. Need to know. Oh, that's good. I need to know. They arrange some papers here. And there's a Roaring Twenties auction for the Heritage Square Historical Society Thursday, 6 to 10 p.m., Heritage Square, 225 Dick Street. The event will feature food, top shelf wines and brews, music, and a silent auction. For tickets and more, call 483-6009. Let's see, that's just going to be tomorrow. It says on Thursday. That's all. Carriage rides for Cinco de Mayo. The Cool Spring Downtown District will offer carriage rides on Saturday from 1 to 8 p.m. Shops, the restaurants, and breweries downtown will help to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Rides last about 15 minutes. Tickets are $10 a person for adults and $5 for children 10 and under, but everybody rides for $5 between 1 and 3. No reservations are needed. Citizens Academy. The next Fayetteville Citizens Academy will be May 11 in the City Hall. Chamber of Commerce, 433 Hayes Street. Class begins 8:30. Features finance, budget, strategic planning, human relations, and economic and community development departments. Applicants must be city residents. The class is limited to 25 participants. The session will end by 4 p.m. To apply, go to, FayetteVilleENC.gov/Citizens Academy. Fill out the application and mail it to Nathan Walls at nwalls@ci.fay.northcarolina.us. The application deadline is Friday. Lunch will be provided. Frame to Table. The second annual Frame to Table fundraiser is Friday, 7 p.m. at Skyview on Hay Street. Proceeds benefit the Indigo Moon Film Festival, October 12-14 in downtown Fayetteville. Enjoy foods and films from 6 countries, along with an open bar and desserts. Tickets are $50 and can be purchased at indigomoonfilmfestival.com, F2T/dot. Okay. And public safety. Cumberland County and arrest. Joshua Lowe, 16, of the 1500 block of Hazelcrest Drive, was charged Tuesday with larceny, conspiracy, possessing stolen property, and misdemeanor injury to property. He was granted custodial release to his mother. Well, isn't that just precious? Marvin Demond Bright, 24 of the 400 block of Atwater Drive, was charged Tuesday with violating the state sex offender registry by being on the campus of Jack Britt High School. Bail was set at $5,000. J. Quan Devon Robinson, 25 of the 800 block of Opal Court, was charged Tuesday with possession of cocaine, possession of a firearm by a felon, and misdemeanor possession of marijuana. Bail was set at $60,000. Carlos Alberto Mendizabal, 41, of the 4800 block of Desert Ridge Road in Parkton was charged Tuesday with assault, inflicting serious bodily injury for which he got $2,500 in bail. Derry Darnell Wright, 34, of the 1100 block of Center Street, was charged Tuesday with assault inflicting serious injury, strangulation, and misdemeanor assault on a female. Well, his bail was set at $6,000. Break-ins. Stornoway Court reported at 7:08 p.m. Saturday. Military bag and gear taken. Starlit Drive reported at 1:40 a.m. Sunday. Nothing reported missing. Final Approach Drive reported at 11:22 p.m. Sunday. Nothing reported missing.
In brief, Spring Lake homicide investigated. Spring Lake police officers are investigating a shooting in the area of Mont Drive that left one man dead Tuesday afternoon. Officers were dispatched after a report of shots fired about 3:30 p.m. Officers found a man unconscious near the road in front of a residence in the 600 block of Mont Drive, located off South Bragg Boulevard. Paramedics arrived and administered CPR until EMS arrived, but the man never regained consciousness and died at the scene. The man, identified by police as Winfred Alonzo Worthy, 62, of the 600 block of Mont Drive, had been shot multiple times. Police are investigating the case as a homicide. Witnesses nearby said they saw a blue-green Lincoln Continental, an older model, leaving the scene of the shooting, according to the release. Two men were in the vehicle. The suspects are still at large. Police do not have any additional information regarding the car or suspects. Police are requesting the public's help. Anyone with information should call detectives at 910-436-0350 or Crime Stoppers at 910-483-TIPS 8477. Second suspect charged in robbery attempt. The second of two men who attempted to rob the five-star BP on Cedar Creek Road last week was served with warrants Tuesday. David Glenn Perry, 19, of the 3300 block of Stedman Cedar Creek Road, is charged with attempted robbery with a dangerous weapon and conspiracy. Perry and Noah Lee Rousey, 19, of the 5000 block of Bullock Court, are charged with robbing the store near Interstate 95 about 9:50 p.m. on April 25th. Rousey was charged with the same offense last week. Both men wore masks and carried weapons into the business. But the clerk also had a gun and fired it at the two as they left the business, wounding Perry. The two went to Perry's home and his mother called 911 to report her son had been shot. Perry was taken to Cape Fear Valley Medical Center for treatment. His bail information was not immediately available.
Time. No, it's not time yet. Sorry. Stabbing suspect appears in court. A Fayetteville woman accused of fatally stabbing a woman at the entrance to College Lakes Park off Roseville Road appeared for a first appearance hearing Tuesday at the Cumberland County Detention Center. Judge Stephen Stokes made no change to the bail for Jamisha Sparrow, 19, who is charged with the second-degree murder in the death of Amanda Rollins, 36, of Fayetteville, letting it stand at $350,000, District Attorney Billy West said. Sparrow, of the 600 block of Pleasant Loop, is accused of stabbing Rollins during an altercation at Tranquil Drive and Rose Hill Road, which is the park entrance. What park is this? Oh, College Lakes Park. Okay, the incident was reported at 3:32 p.m. Rollins lived on the 800 block of Durwood Drive, which is about a mile away from where the stabbing occurred. Rollins was taken to Cape Fear Valley Hospital Center, where she died from her injuries, a police release said. Police said the women knew each other.
Democratic candidates. 3 people are seeking the Democratic nomination for Cumberland County Sheriff. Here's a look at the candidates. Dennis Davis, age 65, occupation Chief, Demore Special Police, elected office none, family wife Sandy, 4 children. Dennis Davis tells the story of his storage shed at his Eastover home was broken into and someone stole about $1,000 worth of loan equipment. Unsatisfied with the response by deputies, Davis said he went twice to talk to the sheriff about the incident. Each time, he said the sheriff, his secretary, and the chief deputy were not in the office. What are we paying their salaries for if they are not going to be in the office and nobody knows where they are? That's the kind of department we are stuck with. Davis has worked as a deputy under 2 Cumberland County sheriffs. In that time, he said, the zones he patrolled always saw a decrease in crime. I must be doing something right, he said. Davis said he doesn't think deputies are handling break-ins properly. They won't get out of the office and hit the road. We give them a patrol car and they are not using it. There's a lot of dissatisfied citizens because of that. Davis said his first priority would be to target people who break into people's property. He wants to reform the school resource officers program to make schools safer. Davis said he has worked in law enforcement for about 40 years. Besides being a deputy in Cumberland County, he has worked for the Hope County Sheriff's Office as an auxiliary, the Lee County Sheriff's Office, Benson and Hope Mills Police Departments, and the State Division of Motor Vehicles as an enforcement agent. He said he now operates a private police company. Davis said he doesn't think deputies are being dispatched in a timely manner. He said he's against a proposal to combine the city and county. Jeff Marks, age 53, occupation retired assistant superintendent, North Carolina Division of Public Health. Elected office none, family single, contacts Facebook Jeff Marks for sheriff. Like many candidates for sheriff, Jeff Marks believes ridding the county of illegal drugs is a top priority. He acknowledges that the county's drug problems didn't start overnight, and I can't fix them overnight. But he believes that strong leadership and effective community outreach are the keys to problems and that he is best suited to tackle them. He said law enforcement needs to be more involved in community outreach and race relations. He wants to see new programs for children, including using deputies as mentors. He's calling for a well-check program for the elderly and an increase in inmate labor, such as picking up trash along roadways. Deputies need to spend more time in black neighborhoods and make sure it is not an us against them mentality. Let them know they are for us and we are one, we are united together. Marks touts his leadership skills. He has spent about 30 years in the state's prison system, including as an assistant superintendent and as acting superintendent of a prison. He also has more than 20 years with the Army Reserve. He said he has been deployed to Afghanistan and Iraq, where he helped train Iraqi soldiers to become police. Ennis Wright, age 58, occupation sheriff. Elected office, filling unexpired term of Bruce Butler since January the 3rd, 2017. Family wife Trudy, 2 children. Ennis Wright has been Cumberland County Sheriff since January 2017 when he took over for Moose Butler, who stepped down in mid-term after 22 years. Wright had been Butler's chief deputy. Wright, 58, declined to comment for this story. In a story detailing his first year as sheriff, Wright said the office was striving to establish a good working relationship with the federal police department, was making changes in visitation at the Cumberland County Detention Center, and was stepping up drug enforcement efforts. We've gotten more aggressive, he said. Are we going to stop it? No, we're not, but we're going to be more aggressive. He said narcotics investigators are trying to execute search warrants about twice a week in an effort to combat the growing problems of opioids and heroin. Wright unwinds at home by lifting weights, working on old cars, and riding motorcycles. He said he's in his basement working out at 4:45 every morning because it gets my mind going. He is a former Army drill sergeant and a 1978 graduate of Terry Sanford High School. When Wright was nominated for sheriff in 2016, he said he wants his deputies to treat people kindly. I preach, treat people with respect, he said. You won't always be able to do that and give them an opportunity to make you not treat them with respect.
Goodness, the drug problem didn't start overnight, right? How about it started, 50, 60 years ago?
True.
We sure talk about it a lot. But that's your city and county at work, you know, never mind the problem's ancient. You know, some people have been born maybe 70 years, I don't know. But nothing, when you read in the paper how, a big drug bust, yeah, sure, that's going to make a difference, I guess. Accused in starving case has first court hearing. A Fayetteville woman accused of starving her physically and mentally challenged daughter to death made her first court appearance Tuesday at the Cumberland County Detention Center. Bertha Brewington Melvin, 68, of the 600 block of Flintshire Road, is charged with first-degree murder and abuse of a disabled person in the February death of Ty-Al La' Melvin, 22. The elder Melvin is charged with an additional count of abuse of a disabled person related to Edna Melvin, 28, who is mentally challenged. Melvin adopted both girls when they were about 1.5 years old and was their sole caregiver, according to the documents. Emergency responders were called to Melvin's home for Ty-Al Melvin, who was unresponsive and pronounced dead. An autopsy determined that Ty-Al, who had the mental capacity of a 6-year-old, died from starvation and hypothermia and weighed 50 pounds. How old was she? An autopsy, did it say she was 22 there? Yes, an autopsy determined that Ty-Al, who, weighed 50 pounds. Responders found Edna Melvin hiding under blankets in the same room and took her to Cape Fear Valley Medical Center, where medical personnel found her heart rate was less than 60 beats per minute. Her temperature was 78.6 degrees. She was underweight. After 10 days, Edna was released and now is in the care of Cumberland County Adult Protective Services. Pictures of the victims are the most egregious I've ever seen as it relates to starvation, District Attorney Billy West said. Melvin, who is being held without bail, asked for a court-appointed lawyer, and staff writer Nancy McCleary can be reached at 486-3568. And a little more crime here. A Sanford woman who initially was arrested for burglary now faces drug charges after a hallucinogenic controlled substance was found in her bra as she was being processed into the Lee County Detention Center. Next thing will be the timing. Ralph, please. Emily Ann Jackson, 29, of the 1800 block of Butler Street, initially was charged late Monday with attempted first-degree burglary, according to a news release from the Lee County Sheriff's Office. As Jackson was being searched early Tuesday before entering the jail, detention center workers found 2 grams of MDMA, also known as ecstasy or Molly, hidden in her bra, Lieutenant Brian Allen said. Jackson is now also charged with possession of said Molly at the detention facility. Jackson's bail initially was $50,000 on the drug charges. Bail on the drug charge was at $10,000, making her total bail $60,000. Okay, let's have the time, please.
This is the Southeastern North Carolina Radio Reading Service, a United Way partner agency. We broadcast from the campus of Federal State University, and our signal is carried by WUNC Chapel Hill. As a nonprofit agency, we rely on public donations. We request your support to continue our services. When making your charitable donations, please keep the Southeastern North Carolina Radio Reading Service in mind. Our post office box number is 35029, Federal, North Carolina. If you have any questions or comments, call us at 910-672-1600. Your radio hosts today are
Marty Baldwin
and Ralph Walkie Robertson. And we are proud to serve you today, and this is just a reminder. As a nonprofit agency, we're having our 8th annual fundraiser golf tournament at Gates 4 Golf and Country Club on Saturday, May the 12th. So we need your help. We need golfers. You know anybody that golfs, tell them to come on out to Gates 4 at 11 o'clock on Saturday, May 12th. Tee off is at noon. Lunch and dinner are provided. Free beverage cart. A brand new car will be available for the first hole-in-one on 2 different holes. This will be the best golf tournament they could ever play in. So you can help us help you by getting some golfers out there. Also, we need door prizes. So if you shop anywhere, tell the manager you'd like to have a door prize for our fundraising golf tournament. So get off your duff and help us help you with our 8th annual golf tournament at Gates 4 on Saturday, May the 12th. That's the day before Mother's Day, so it will not interfere with Mother's Day. Thank you.
And here's Republican candidates for sheriff. I don't know why anybody would want to be sheriff around here. Charlie Bailey, 62, retired, 36 years in law enforcement. Family, wife, and 4 children. He has had no elected office, but he is from the area and certainly has, what is it now? A lot of experience, 36 years of experience. Carlton Sally is 48, police officer in Moore County, elected experience none. Family, wife, and 3 children. This is another Republican, 48 years old. He believes 19 years of law enforcement, some of it working with the Department of Defense, would make him a good sheriff. And he's a native of Dayton, Ohio. He's the only military veteran in the race. Next we have Victor Starling, age 50, Fayetteville police officer, no elected experience. Wife, yes, and 4 children. And he's making his 2nd bid for the Republican nomination. He's a 29-year-old veteran of the Fayetteville Police Department. And his mother's a Lumbee Indian. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but no one's tried to solve racism, but I can see it from both sides, he says. Graduated from Cape Fear High School. And then there's LaRue Wyndham, 58, correctional training specialist in the North Carolina Department of Public Safety of Adult Corrections. He's elected. Nobody has any elected officer service. Of course not. They've been busy as they've been working on other jobs related to our subject here. He has 1 son. First foray into political arena. He grew up in Cumberland County, works as a correctional training specialist with the North Carolina Department of Public Safety, where he trains officers who will be and are working for the state's prisons. He's been in several aspects of law enforcement. He was initially retired, but was later terminated by then Sheriff Moose Butler. I don't know what that means, but therefore he did not break the law. The thing about it is people are going to believe what they believe. He said a separate investigation done by North Carolina Sheriff's Education and Training Standards cleared him. They interviewed me and I was cleared. Okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 Republicans who want to be sheriff. And if we just drew names, it would, I think, our county.
Learn a foreign language with Mango. We live in a global economy where speaking more than one language is practically a necessity. Maybe you took Spanish or French in school, but have gotten out of practice and want to refresh your language skills. The library has a fantastic resource that you can help learn Mango languages. With more than 70 languages, this user-friendly learning platform focuses on real-world vocabulary and conversation. With a microphone, you can also practice your pronunciation. Many of the courses also offer foreign language films with subtitles in both English and the language of origin. In partnership with other libraries in North Carolina, through North Carolina Live, you can assess Mango languages with your library card from our library's website, cumberland.library.northcarolina.us. You will need your library card to get started, and first-time users will be prompted to create an account with a username and password. There are also mobile apps for both Apple and Android devices for ongoing access. You may also contact any library to reach information services staff members who are already ready to assist you. If English is your second language, Mango Languages offers ESL courses for speakers of 25 other languages. Using this vocabulary tool can help you to better communicate in English. The Spring Lake branch is also offering an English conversation program for you to informally practice speaking English. The next session is May 16th at 10:30 a.m. For more information, please visit the Spring Lake branch located at 101 Lake Tree Boulevard or call 497-3650.
Alrighty, here's a story about our Tyrone Williams. He sure gets a lot of press. Williams owes Army vet $538,000. He seems to owe a lot of people. A dozen years before Tyrone Williams became a Fayetteville City Councilman, Tim Allen hired him to build his retirement home off Elliott Bridge Road in northern Cumberland County. Allen, a former jump master with Fort Bragg's 82nd Airborne Division, said he chose Williams as his contractor in 2006 on the recommendation of a neighbor who was related to a business partner of Williams. At the time, Allen said, Williams was driving a Maserati and living in an expensive house in Harnett County's Anderson Creek Golf community. He and Williams had gone to middle school together, and Williams was a veteran as well. Williams portrayed himself as a successful businessman. I trusted him, Allen said. Shortly after signing the construction contract, Allen said, Williams broke ground on the house while Allen landed in the Middle East on his 9th deployment. From there, everything went down, he said. Court records describe allegations of fraud and shoddy construction practices by Williams, who abandoned the job site after completing less than 26% of the work. Williams had been paid about $93,000 by the time he left the project, according to a default judgment won by Allen in 2007. A Cumberland County Superior Court judge awarded Allen damages of nearly $538,000. Allen said, he's never seen a dime of the money. That's how our court system works, especially in Fayetteville if you've got influence, and other places. Last week, after reading stories about how Fayetteville City Council members are trying to remove Williams from his seat, Allen said he went to City Hall and complained to the city attorney about how Williams nearly forced him into bankruptcy. Allen said he wasn't hoping to get his money back. Rather, he said he wanted to expose Williams' past behavior. Tyrone Williams is a crook, and Tyrone Williams is going to use his council position for personal gain not for the people of North Carolina. Well, I don't see too much difference in that statement. Williams' lawyer, Chris Pop of the Richardson Law Firm, declined to comment for this story. A message left for Williams wasn't returned. Tyrone Williams ran for city council last year, vowing to help the homeless create jobs and work collaboratively with other council members. He beat Dan Cooliton by 310 votes for the open District 2 seat, which includes the downtown area, parts of Haymont, and some of the city's poorest neighborhoods. Williams was sworn into office 4 December. 8 days later, he was marketing businessman T.J. Jennings. He and this Jennings set up a meeting with Jordan Jones, the project manager for Prince Charles Holdings, LLC, a group that plans to invest $65 million in the Prince Charles Hotel building and other properties surrounding the new baseball stadium on Hay Street. Williams once had a stake in the Prince Charles Hotel. He loaned $100,000 to the hotel's previous owner, John Chen, around 2008. In exchange, Williams was to become the first lien holder on the property, but the hotel fell into bankruptcy before that happened. Williams said earlier this year that he never got his money back, a claim that federal court documents could prove to be untrue. 17 days into his first term as a council member, Williams met with Jones at Jenkins' downtown office. Jones secretly recorded the meeting. In the audio, Williams is heard telling Jones that he could resolve a minor problem with the Prince Charles title for $15,000. The recording prompted an FBI investigation. It is not known whether the investigation has been completed. The Observer obtained the audio from Jones and published it April 6, which led to swift calls for Williams to resign, and he refused. According to court records, Williams has been accused repeatedly of failing to pay child support. Some of the houses he owns in Cumberland County have been cited for code violations. The city condemned one of those houses and ordered it turned down. Some of his homes have also faced foreclosure, including the one in Anderson Creek. Deeds show that it was sold at auction in 2007 to a mortgage company for $458,000. Cumberland County Court records show a more recent foreclosure against Williams at 1413 Cedar Creek Road. The deed says the home is owned by Maurice Miller, who operates a barbershop and a sub shop in Fayetteville. The deed shows Miller sold the house to Williams for $50,000 in 2006. The last year, Miller said, Williams persuaded him to enter a quitclaim on the property, deeding it back to Miller for $1. Miller said Williams also persuaded him to use the home as collateral to get a $40,000 loan so that both men could use the money to further their separate business interest. Miller said the unwritten understanding was that Williams would pay him half of the loan, or $20,000 that never happened. Today, the deed remains in Miller's name and the loan in Williams' name. Miller lives in the house and said he's the only person who pays the mortgage. On April 16, Miller said the house came within 2 hours of being sold on the courthouse steps, when they paid $7,500 to keep it out of foreclosure, and he blames Williams. Tyrone hasn't given me a dime, Miller said. I've been losing since day one. The deal was to pay half of this together. It's not right. That's the bottom line. It's wrong. Tim Allen said he spent 25 years in the Army before retiring in 2012 because of physical and mental injuries. The house Allen hired Williams to build was his retirement dream home. 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, sitting on nearly 4 acres carved out of the family plot where he grew up. Williams had agreed to build the home for $207,000. While Allen was overseas fighting a war, he said Williams was continually asking Allen's wife for money to complete different phases of the work. At each of those phases, Williams was supposed to have completed the work as required under contract and had it inspected. That didn't happen. When Williams quit the job, Allen said he had to hire contractors to tear off the roof and start over, because the load-bearing walls were in the wrong places. The default judgment shows that repair work and other costs amounted to $179,286. The judge ordered Williams to pay Allen triple that amount. Well, yeah, Allen said he tried to hunt Williams down to make him pay, but he couldn't find him. As a result, he said he nearly went bankrupt. He estimates that William owes him $250,000. To keep from going bankrupt, Allen said he fixed motorcycles, mowed lawns, and did other odd jobs to pay the mortgage, which he said had initially ballooned to more than $3,000 a month. Allen said he has run into Williams a couple of times in recent years, once at a car dealership where Williams had worked, and about 4 months ago at a Lowe's store. Allen said Williams recognized him at the store. He says, "Hey man, let's bury the hatchet." Allen said he gave Williams some choice words and walked away. With few options, Allen decided to take his battle with Williams to City Hall. If he can't collect his money, he said, he can at least make people aware of how Williams treated him. If he wants to serve the people, Allen said, start by paying me my money back. I feel so sorry for this man.
I'll miss the students most of all. This is Bill Kirby Jr. Sandy Combs closed her eyes and still can see the landscape more than 50 years ago. It was barren and there were sand spurs, she says, about the Methodist University campus, and that today is nothing like September 1967, when Combs was hired as then President Stacy Weaver to bring her nursing skills to the school infirmary. There were like 4 buildings Combs calls it a career on May 31st, when the 75-year-old Director of Student Health Services leaves as the longest-serving employee behind Gene Clayton, the administrator who retired in April 2016 after 53 years. I'll miss the students most of all, Combs was saying Tuesday after a retirement ceremony and reception at the Burns Student Center, where she was remembered for her kind and nurturing ways with so many students in 5 decades. Among those students was Doris Munoz, who first came to know Combs as a freshman in 2003 after suffering second-degree burns from a hair curling iron. When you are at your lowest and weakest, the person you want is your mama, Munoz, now Director of Student Involvement at the school, would say. But when you are a long way from home, we'd run to Sandy. They came with their cuts and scrapes and bruises, their sprained ankles, their winter colds, and summer allergies, and even their troubled hearts. She would be that listening ear and our biggest cheerleader, Munoz would say. Thank you for being my mama when my mama was far away. Methodist University has many legends walk on our campus, and Sandy is one of them. You are a beautiful soul, and may you always remember Methodist as home, and you are always welcome. David Baggett, the physician assistant at the school, would praise Combs as a counselor, confidant, angel of mercy for generations of students. In 50 years, many things have happened here, Baggett would say, but the one constant has been Sandy Combs and William Walker. The Dean of Students would describe Combs as gentle and giving whenever a student faced a health issue. Sandy has championed health care for our school, he would say, and it takes a champion to bring sunshine to the sick and ill. Sandy Combs, a 1964 graduate of the High Point School of Nursing, found her passion for what some call the most noble calling when her cancer-stricken father gained so much respect for nurses attending to his care. When it came to nursing, she was a caregiver with empathy and compassion. If not for people who really care about people, you have nothing. Ben Hancock, the school president who also retires May 31st, would say, on giants like your shoulders, this university was built, and your legacy will live on at Methodist University. For Combs, the university has been a family affair. Her husband, Johnny Combs, graduated with a business degree in 1972. Daughter, Donna Combs Carter, graduated in 1992. Son, Kevin Combs, graduated in 1995. And granddaughter, Casey Robinson, graduates from the school nursing program in a pinning ceremony scheduled for 6 p.m. Thursday at Hay Street United Methodist Church. I've enjoyed every moment, Sandy Combs would tell those who came for the farewell ceremony. You are all just like my family. It's been a great time, and I don't know what I would do without the college. It's just been a wonderful journey.
Alright. Here's a judge. Let's see where he resides. Judge lets voters' libel suit go forward. Oh, it's the Daily Press. 4 voters can pursue their libel lawsuits against allies of former Governor Pat McCrory, a Virginia law firm that tried to help the Republican politician's unsuccessful effort to disqualify votes and win re-election in 2016. Superior Court Judge Alan Badur notified the attorneys he's decided to allow the 4 plaintiffs to continue their claims against Pat McCrory Committee Legal Defense Fund, the Holtzman Vogel Josephiak Torchinsky law firm, and 4 of the Warrington, Virginia-based firm's attorneys. The McCrory allies helped mount a last-ditch effort to sway a close election for governor by accusing voters in 52 counties of double voting and other misdeeds. The voters from Guilford and Brunswick counties sued after being falsely accused of felony voting crimes like casting ballots in multiple states. Well, let's see. The court has recognized that falsely accused North Carolina voters have the right to move forward to seek redress. The case may be among the first voter defamation case of its kind. The lawsuit contends that the McCrory allies should be punished for wrongfully accusing the plaintiffs of felony. Virtually all the Republican-sponsored challenges to the voters' qualifications were rejected by the GOP-controlled state elections board a week after McCrory asked for statewide recount, citing serious concerns of potential voter fraud emerging across the state. McCrory continued the failed effort to overcome an election day deficit at the polls for nearly a month before conceding to Democrat Roy Cooper.
Another dogwood hit. We write this editorial every year. We've written it for decades now, and we're happy to repeat ourselves one more time. Wow, that was one great party. Thank you, Dogwood Festival organizers. You've gone and done it again. And they did one more thing. They once again topped last year's success. This year they did it by a mile, thanks in part to an expansion of the festival and in part to picture-perfect spring weather. The festival added a rock music performance on Thursday night, and on Friday night the festival embarked on a new musical adventure, rap. On Saturday, the offerings returned to the traditional country fair, and there was more rock on Sunday, as the festival was extended until 9 p.m. The weather was beyond perfect, clear, dry, cool, but not chilly. Just right for riding the Midway, sampling all manner of tasty food treats, and for sitting on the festival park grounds under a starlit sky, listening to great and free music. Preliminary estimates for festival attendees indicate that there may have been as many as 225,000 visitors. That's as it should be for one of the best festivals in the Southeast. We can't wait to see how they'll top this success next year, but our guess is they will.
Local and state form links transitioning soldiers, IT. 82nd Airborne Division wants to keep as many of its paratroopers as possible, but when it's time for a soldier to hang up his beret, the division also wants the soldier to find success in the civilian world. At some point, we'll all leave, said Major General Eric Kurilla, Commanding General of the 82nd Airborne Division. What we want to do is to have a soft transition. To that end, information technology leaders from across the North Carolina met with 82nd Airborne leaders on Tuesday to discuss how paratroopers can best transition from the Army to its IT careers. At the time, Kurilla and Command Sergeant Major Michael Ferrucci said their aim was to educate industry leaders on what skills their paratroopers can bring to their organizations. More than a dozen businesses and schools participated in the Paratroopers for Life Forum at the Division's Hall of Heroes. They included Cary-based SAS, IBM, Innovative Systems Group, Siemens Healthcare, Embry-Riddle Fayetteville Technical Community College, North Carolina State University, and the Army Research Office, among others. It was the fourth such forum hosted by the 82nd Airborne Division, with previous events focused on law enforcement, fire and emergency services, and the transportation industries. The free-flowing discussion touched on what soldiers can do while still in uniform to better their chances for employment. Most of the suggestions were aimed not only at the division's signalers, but also other troops interested in careers in IT who might qualify for training and apprenticeship programs. Officials said there are not enough IT professionals to fill every job in the industry, and the need is ever growing, with an estimated 1.5 million cybersecurity jobs going unfulfilled by 2020. Veterans have a unique ability to fill those jobs, said Grant Gibson, a former Marine who now works for My Computer Career, but many don't know how to market their military skills for the business world. Kurilla said the 82nd Airborne Division has more than 130 military occupational specialties or military career fields among its 18,000 plus soldiers, and every one of those soldiers have skills that go far beyond shooting things. Every paratrooper in the division has some level of leadership skills, he said. They are trained to operate in small groups, make decentralized decisions, and exercise initiative and sound judgment in difficult situations without supervision. Those are skills businesses want, Gibson said. Others agreed. Many of the businesses in existing schools have relationships with the Army, often through Fort Bragg's Soldier for Life Transition Assistance Program, which helps service members of the nation's largest military installation transition to civilian careers. Kurilla said that it's important that leaders do what they can to ease the transition of soldiers, because they may later serve as informal recruiters for the unit. They'll always be connected to the 82nd Airborne Division, the general said. I want them to be an ambassador. The Paratroopers for Life forums were created in late 2016, and officials said the divisions eventually hope to host a career fair for transitioning troops. In the past, Fort Bragg officials have said about 8,000 soldiers transition from the Army from the post each year. Thousands of them are former 82nd Airborne Division paratroopers. On average, these troopers are 26 years old and have at least one combat tour and some college education, officials said. They are also veterans of numerous military training courses and schools. The military editor who wrote this is Drew Brooks and can be reached at 486-3567.
How to fix a faulty gut. What an article. About 40% of U.S. adults are affected by one or more gut disorders. 20% have reflux, 10 to 15% irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, 20% abdominal gas issues, 10 to 20% have constipation, and so forth. You just don't want to be in the same room as the 20% that have abdominal gas issues, particularly not on an elevator.
You ought to get some Beano, I think, huh?
Chances are very high that you or a family member have intestinal issues of some sort. It doesn't need to be that way, And it turns out that for many people with those disorders, there may be a simple path to health. Why is this important? Reflux can cause heartburn, chest pain, hoarseness, sinus issues, and may even contribute to asthma. In fact, studies show that people with reflux have a worse quality of life than if they had diabetes. Intermittent abdominal pain with diarrhea or constipation issues and nothing else wrong medically is likely IBS, which is the second leading cause of work absenteeism in the United States. Frequent belching, rumbling, and flatulence, which means farting, seem harmless enough, but may be a major source of embarrassment at work or home. Constipation may cause hemorrhoids, seepage, or bowel control issues. Fatigue, and possibly even contributes to the obesity epidemic. So what's the deal? The major advance in the understanding of gut health occurred in the 1950s by the late renowned Dr. Dennis Burkitt. He found that heart attacks, reflux, gallbladder disease, colon cancer, and so forth were rare among rural indigenous natives. Through careful studies traveling across the world, Burkitt linked inadequate dietary fiber intake, typically on the Western diet, with these illnesses, and not carbohydrate or sugar intake. Unfortunately, high fiber diets have been found to be marginally beneficial for gut disorders and sometimes even worsen them. So today, modern treatment for reflux includes acid-reducing medications and sometimes surgery. But all too frequently, these interventions become less effective over the years. One report of male veterans found that 70% were again taking reflux medication within 10 years of their anti-reflux surgery. The IBS landscape is also littered with promising drugs and diets that have never lived up to their hype. But Dr. Burkitt also discovered a second key concept of gut health: rapid gut transit. Among indigenous natives of Africa, Burkitt found that leftover, undigested food waste exited the body in one day, whereas it averaged 4 days in the developed world. Indeed, Burkitt often stated that Great Britain and the U.S. were a constipated nation. Unfortunately, this concept of rapid gut transit has been forgotten by the scientific community. To understand gut transit, think of the bathroom odor. All those undigested leftovers are putrefying inside as they are not exiting the body in timely fashion. This leads to gas trapping and pain, reflux, and so forth. Trapped gas is like air in the fuel line of a car, causing the engine to run rough. As a GI physician in private practice for over 3 decades, like Dr. Burkitt, I've come to understand that in many of my patients, reflux, IBS, excess gas, and bloating are often provoked by impaired gut transit. While probiotics and various dietary restrictions may be helpful for gut health, their benefits are usually temporary since they do not impact gut transit. Unfortunately, in my opinion, most fruits, vegetables, salads, whole grain breads, and pastas are not a good source of gut healthy fiber. Everyone's gut bacterial flora is unique. Some do better with flax, others with benefiber, for one that you can tolerate. Start with a small amount and gradually increase the dose as tolerated. But if excellent bathroom results and excellent gut transit are not continually achieved, likely the benefits will be temporary. Recall that fiber supplements are weak laxatives and that the gut has not been working properly for years. So the gut often would need a push, i.e. a laxative, to help the gut adapt to the high fiber diet. Many people have heard, don't take laxatives, you can get hooked on them. This may occur with those containing senna or cascara. One woman was taking 100, that's not a typo, tablets each day and yet had poor results. But good laxatives, like those containing magnesium and Miralax, I am convinced can actually restore normal gut transition.
Okay, better read our break. I don't have one over here.
This is the Southeastern North Carolina Radio Reading Service, a United Way partner agency. We broadcast from the campus of Fayetteville State University, and our signal is carried by WUNC Chapel Hill. As a nonprofit agency, we rely on public donations. We request your support to continue our service. When making charitable donations, please keep the Southeastern North Carolina Radio Reading Service in mind. Our post office box number is 35029, Fayetteville, North Carolina 28303. If you have any questions or comments, call us at 910-672-1600. Your radio hosts today are
Marty Baldwin
and Ralph Walkie Robertson. And we are proud to serve you today. And of course, don't forget the only fundraiser we have, the Gates Ford Golf and Country Club 8th Annual Reading for the Blind and Visually Impaired Golf Tournament on Saturday, May 12th. That's the day before Mother's Day. You can help us get your golfing friends to come out and play in the tournament. It's only $65 a player or $250 for a team. That is a $400 value because you will have lunch and dinner and free beverages and door prizes and a chance to win a car on 2 different holes. That's a brand new Chevrolet on 2 different holes. $500 cash for first place and a Gates Ford Golf certificate for second place and a special ladies division. Places to the pins, long drive, you name it. It'll be the best golf tournament they ever played in, and otherwise, tell every golfer you know to play in the tournament. Saturday, May 12th, 11 o'clock registration, noon tee off, lunch and dinner provided. And I'd like to dedicate the reading of the obituaries to my dearly departed mom, Virginia Brantley Robertson, who spent her last 12 years non-ambulatory and unable to see and would have loved the radio reading service, and to Drew Botanic, the Woodley Reader, and recruited me into the business. And of course also to Harold F. Rickman, who founded the radio reading service here at Fayetteville State University. Death notices. The following deaths have been reported. See upcoming editions of the Fayetteville Observer for complete obituary information. Cumberland County, Barbara P. Jackson, 85 of Fayetteville, Sullivan's Highland Funeral Service and Crematory, Fayetteville. Phyllis W. Highnight, 77 of Fayetteville, Adcock Funeral Home and Crematory. Jane F. Stewart, 67 of Fayetteville, Sullivan's Highland Funeral Service and Crematory. Earl Lee Boykin Jr., 61 of Fayetteville, formerly of Clinton, Worley Funeral Home, Clinton. DeMarco J. McEwen, 20 of Fayetteville, Norman Whitted, Funeral Director, licensee. William Morrison of Fayetteville, Cunningham and Sons Mortuary. Cape Fear Region, James Bannister, 78 of Washington Township, New Jersey, formerly of Clinton, Worley Funeral Home. Cumberland County, Donald Ray Bullock. Donald Ray Bullock. Mr. Donald Ray Bullock, 72 of Fayetteville, passed away on Monday, April the 30th. A funeral service will be held at 11 a.m. Thursday, May 3rd in Salem United Methodist Church with burial to follow in the church cemetery. The family will receive friends from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. prior to the service at the church. Memorial donations may be made to the Aversboro Battlefield and Museum, P.O. Box 1811, Dunn. Services entrusted to Rogers and Breeze Funeral Home. Sammy Lex Morrison. Sammy Lex Morrison, 51 of Federal. Died Thursday, April 26th. Funeral Wednesday, 1 p.m. Wiseman Mortuary Chapel. Viewing at the funeral home. Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Burial, Rockfish Memorial Park, Wiseman Mortuary. Mildred Lois DeGeese. Mrs. Mildred Lois DeGeese, 83, of Federal, passed away on Sunday, April the 29th. A memorial service will be held at 2 p.m. Saturday, May 5th in Rogers and Breeze Funeral Home with the Reverend Jimmy Atkinson officiating. In lieu of flowers, donations may be made to the Daughters of Christ Ministry, P.O. Box 4828, Cumberland, North Carolina. Services entrusted to Rogers and Breeze Funeral Home. Hazel Rebecca Corey. Hazel Rebecca Corey, 84 of Federal, passed away on Tuesday, April the 24th. The family will receive friends from 12 p.m. to 1 to 1:15 p.m. Friday, May 4th in Rogers and Breeze Funeral Home. There will be a private family service at Sand Hill State Veterans Cemetery. Services entrusted to Rogers and Breeze Funeral Home. Elwood P. Hare. Elwood Preston Hare, 59, passed away in his residence on Sunday, April the 29th. Funeral services will be held on Friday, May 4th at 3 p.m. at Palestine Presbyterian Church with the Pastor Donald Fisher officiating. Burial will immediately follow in the McLam Hare Family Cemetery. Condolences may be made at adcockfunerallandcrematory.com. SGM Sergeant Major James Arthur Moore. Sergeant Major James Arthur Moore, retired, of Federal, passed away Sunday, April the 29th. Funeral services will be held at 2 p.m. Thursday, May 3rd, Reeves Funeral Home Chapel, Hope Mills, North Carolina, followed by burial with full military honors at Cumberland Memorial Gardens, Federal. The visitation will be held prior to the service from 1 to 2 p.m. on Thursday, May 3rd at Reeves Funeral Home, Hope Mills. Darlene Alice Levy. Mrs. Darlene Alice Levy passed away on April 30th at home surrounded by family. Services will be arranged at a later date. Services under the direction of Reeves Funeral Home, Hope Mills, North Carolina. Elizabeth Noel Turner. Elizabeth Noel Turner, 77 of Federal, formerly of North Myrtle Beach, died Saturday, April 28th in Southern Pine. The family will receive friends on Friday, May 4th from 5 to 7 p.m. at Jernigan Warren Funeral Home. Surviving are her husband, William Turner, daughter, Janet Turner, and husband. Arrangements by Jernigan Warren Funeral Home. Charles William Gibbons. Charles William Gibbons, 63 of Federal, died Sunday, April 29th. Funeral Saturday, 11 a.m. Peace Presbyterian Church. Visitation, Peace Presbyterian Church, 9:45 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. Saturday. Burial, Lafayette Memorial Park Cemetery, Rogers and Breeze Funeral Home. Edward Sylvester Oxendine. Edward Sylvester Oxendine, Jr., 24, of Federal, died Monday, April the 30th. Funeral Friday, 2 p.m., Mount Pisgah Baptist Church. Visitation, Mount Pisgah Baptist Church. Friday, noon to 1:30 p.m. Burial, Cumberland Memorial Gardens, Jernigan Warren Funeral Home. Ida M. Stocks. Ida M. Stocks, 67 of Federal, died Friday, April the 20th. Funeral Thursday, 11 a.m., Wiseman Mortuary Chapel. Viewing, Wiseman Mortuary Chapel, Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Burial, McLaughlin Chapel Cemetery, Wiseman Mortuary.
Region and elsewhere. Grady K. Snyder of Asheville, 89, left this life to join his beloved wife, Tootsie, in eternal communion with their Lord Jesus Christ, April 28, 2018. He was a military man, plus he was a professor at Lewisburg College and Methodist College in the field of mathematics. A graveside service will be held at 2 p.m. on Saturday, May 5, at Lafayette Cemetery on Ramsey Street in Fayetteville, North Carolina. A memorial service will be held at 2 p.m. on Monday, May 7 at the Norma F. Pulliam Chapel at Givens Estates, Nashville. In lieu of flowers, Grady and his family request that memorial donations be made to Spoken Word Ministries. Groce, Groce, or Gross Funeral Home at Lake Julian is assisting the family. Gross Funeral Home, Groce. Gary Wayne McDonald of Greenville passed away at age 72, Monday, April 30. He was a former resident of Fayetteville, and he is the son of the late John K. and Ruth F. McDonald. The family will receive friends on Thursday, May 3, 2018, 10:30 to 11:15 at Sullivan Highland Funeral Service. The graveside service will follow at Lafayette Memorial Park at 11:30. Services will be held at Sullivan's Highland Funeral Service. He was a former resident and he gave 32 years of service at the Fayetteville, North Carolina Center. Corey Lee Bell of Dunn, 71, died April 26. Funeral Thursday, 1 p.m., Shiloh Baptist Church. Visitation, Colvin Funeral Home Chapel. Wednesday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., burial, McKinnon Cemetery, Colvin Funeral Chapel. Annalise W. Weymouth, 92, passed away Sunday, March 25, in Leesburg, Virginia. But the byline here is Herndon. She was born in Munich, Germany, and came to this country as a war bride long ago, my goodness, in 48. And she worked for 21 years as an executive secretary and was preceded to death by her husband. A memorial service will be held on Saturday, May 5 at 11 a.m. at Christus Victor Lutheran Church, Hope Mills Road, Fayetteville, North Carolina. A graveside service at the family's plot in Forest Hill Cemetery on Kansas Road in Bridgeton, Maine. It will be held Saturday, August 18 at 11 a.m. Contributions may be made to Christus Victor Lutheran Church Building Fund. Deborah S. Smith of Lumberton, age 66, passed away on Monday, April 30. She was born in Robeson County, October 24, 1951, to the late William Butler and his late Ada Butler. She was formerly employed at Betty Carroll's restaurant in Lumberton after working many years overseas during her husband's military career. The family will receive friends prior to the funeral on Thursday, May 3, from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Trinity Holiness Church in Lumberton. Following the visitation, a funeral service will be held at 12 p.m. with Reverend Jamie Luter, Reverend Jerry Andrews, and Reverend Philip Britt officiating. Burial will follow in Lafayette Memorial Park in Fayetteville. The family will receive friends at other times at the home of Mr. and Mrs. Lewis Britt. 1015 East 10th Street, Lumberton, North Carolina. Brenda Hinson Hockaday Dunn, 67, died Friday, March 30. Funeral Wednesday, 11 a.m., Grove Presbyterian Church. Visitation, Skinner and Smith Funeral Home, Tuesday, 6 p.m., 8 p.m., Burial Grove Presbyterian Church. Robert Franklin Bundy of Southern Pines, 76, entered fully into the presence of the Lord and Savior on Monday, April 30. A visitation will be held from 10 to 11 Friday, followed by a service at 11 a.m. at the Southern Pines United Methodist Church. Burial will follow in Pine Lawn Memorial Park in Southern Pines. Born March 21, 1942 in Hope County to the late Lonnie B. Bundy and Lena B. Bundy. And he was a retired owner of R.F. Bundy Construction, accomplished builder, and won many prizes throughout his life. A faithful member of Southern Pines United Methodist Church, teaching Sunday school and on many committees. Bowles Funeral Home of Southern Pines is serving the family. And in lieu of flowers, memorial contributions may be made to Southern Pines United Methodist Church, 175 Midland Road, Southern Pines, North Carolina. Robert R. Savage, Jr., Counsel, 84, passed away on Monday, April 30, 2018. The family will receive friends on Wednesday, May 2, 2018, from 5 p.m. at Bladen Gaskins Funeral Home in Elizabethtown. The funeral service will be held at 4 p.m. at Lisbon Baptist Church. Burial will follow the services in Mount Horeb Cemetery, Bladen Gaskins Funeral. Lula Mae Peterson of Rayford, 86, died Wednesday, April 25. Funeral Thursday, 2 p.m., Helper's Hand Ministry. Visitation, Dobie Funeral Home, Wednesday, 1 to 6 p.m. Burial, Hope County Cemetery, Dobie Funeral Home. Eloise Hamilton Packer of Clarkton died at 67 on Monday, April 30. Funeral Thursday, 2 p.m., Bladen Gaskins Funeral Home, Chapel. Visitation, Bladen Gaskin Funeral Home, Wednesday, 5 to 7 p.m., and burial at Salem Cemetery. And to follow those many deaths will be Billy Graham. The ultimate gift is therefore our asking. From the writings of the Reverend Billy Graham, my friend keeps telling me that salvation is a free gift. But how is that possible? Doesn't God expect us to try to be as good as we can before He'll let us into heaven? Hey, the Bible is clear. God offers us our eternal salvation as a free gift. And this is a wonderful truth. And I hope you'll come to understand. Let me explain it this way. If you're like most people, you probably receive several gifts on your birthday or on other occasions. How much did you pay for them? I suspect you're smiling at my question because you know you didn't pay anything for them, no matter how costly they were. Someone else paid for them, and they give them to you freely and without charge. The same is true with our salvation. We couldn't pay for it. The cost is too high. In addition, God's standard is nothing less than perfection, and no matter how good we try to be, we can never be good enough. But someone has already paid for our salvation, and that someone is Jesus Christ. He did it for us. He did for us what we could never do for ourselves by taking upon Himself the judgment that we deserve. But what do you do When you receive a gift, do you simply admire it and then cast it aside? No, of course not. You reach out and take it and make it your own, and that's what we must do with Jesus. Don't trust your own good works or doubt what he has done for you. Instead, reach out by faith and receive him into your life today. The Bible says, "For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life in Jesus Christ, our Lord." Romans 6:23.
Okay, it's time for a little Janine Phillips, who is Ann Landers' daughter. But they still call it Dear Abby. Dear Abby. Who was Abby? What was Abby's last name? Dear Abby, I need advice badly. A close family member has been living with a woman who is sexually assaults people by grabbing their genitalia, kissing them forcibly on the mouth, and touching their buttocks. She's completely without boundaries. We have an important family event coming up and have decided not to invite her because we don't feel safe around her. The close family member is incensed with us, furious. He chalks his girlfriend's transgressions up to medical events. Abby, we are right to not allow her to be part of the situation where she will undoubtedly behave like this. Or must we just accept it and move on? As our family member insists, in spite of being well aware of her pattern of behavior. Anonymous in the East. Dear Anonymous, do not allow yourselves to be forced into anything that would make any of you uncomfortable, unless this family member can guarantee that his lady friend will not disrupt the festivities by acting out. She should not be invited. Dear Abby, my best friend and I are grandmothers. While I enjoy a healthy relationship with my children and grandchildren, the same is not true for her. Because of issues surrounding her divorce, she's in contact with only one of her 3 children. All 3 sides with their father. Recently, her pregnant daughter, Erin, who has mental health issues, told her mom she never wants to see her again and turned her away from the baby shower. The only way my friend knew Erin had given birth was from social media. No one in the family told her. Although Erin unfriended her mom on Facebook, I still see her posts. Naturally, she shared the news about the new baby. My question is, should I comment on the news? Erin knows I'm close to her mom. I'm aching to tell her to let her mom back into her life and about the importance of a relationship with grandparents. Should I, or should I just offer my congratulations and let it be? Values family in the Midwest. Dear Values family, by all means congratulate Erin on the new baby, but postpone the lecture about the importance of grandparents for a separate conversation. Right now, I doubt Erin would appreciate what you have to say. Later, when things calm down in her troubled relationship with her mother, she may be more open to your message. Dear Abby, I'm dating a man who insists that I pay for our dinners every time he comes to visit. He doesn't even offer. One time when I didn't pick up the check, he reached across the table and handed it to me. I'm not sure how to handle this. Worth a treat in West Virginia. You fool, stop dating that man. He's a freeloader. What Abby really said was, or Janine, the next time this user comes to visit and hands you the check, hand it back and walk out of the restaurant. If he claims to have forgotten his wallet as well as his manners, stop dating him, silly.
Yes, poor
Reader alert. If you know a student who would like to enter the $5,000 Dear Abby College Columnist Scholarship Contest, see the information on dearabby.com and learn more. The deadline is fast approaching.
Alrighty. And what about a birthday today? Anyone have one?
Birthdays today.
On the May the 2nd.
Well, they don't have May. The first one down here is May the 16th. Let's see if they have any more somewhere. But
okay.
Nope. Let's see. Nope. The next one is May the 16th.
Oh, well, that's kind of.
Nobody has a birthday. I can't believe that.
Well,
May the 1st and May the 16th.
You listeners are not calling in and giving us your birthday date.
Yeah, shame.
We do not ask your age. We just want the date.
We will not divulge your age.
And we don't know it, and we don't want to know it.
That's true.
Here's the horoscope by Stella Wilder. Born today, you are one of those rare individuals who knows how to navigate all manner of professional and social situations in a way that makes everyone feel more confident and at ease. Taurus, close work with an ally gives you more than progress. It gives you peace of mind you can accomplish something others thought you couldn't. Gemini, it's time for you to consider doing something that you would never have considered even a day or two ago. Things are changing. Cancer, assistance you receive today may come under suspicion by others, as it gives you a boost that may seem to some against the rules. Leo, you may have to go from here to there many times today before you've gotten something done on your list. You must increase travel efficiency. Write it down and make a big circle. Maybe you'll only have to go once. Virgo, an enjoyable relationship gets more so today, even though both you and another are dealing with a shared hardship. Libra, you may have trouble swallowing what someone else is trying to pass off to you, but his or her motives are pure, at least for now. Scorpio, someone from the past makes contact today, or is trying to do so. You'll want to keep your eyes and ears open for all kinds of signals. Sagittarius, expecting a different outcome today is rather pointless if you're not willing to try something different in the first place. Capricorn, others may recognize your expertise in a given area, but that doesn't mean that you're going to have your way. You must be persuasive. Aquarius, your confidence may be threatened by a situation that comes upon you entirely by surprise. What you know may actually come into question. Pisces, you may find yourself reviewing a plan and deciding that it's not right for you at this moment. Will you make changes? Aries, you can do something just in time which saves someone else a world of trouble and quite possibly heartache. You're something of a hero. There endeth the horoscope.
That ends the horoscope. Support groups. Wednesday, adult children on alcoholics. Codependency, 6 to 7 p.m. Friends in recovery group, Snyder Memorial Baptist Church, room B, 1035. Diabetes Management Clinic, 9:30 a.m. to noon. Grays Creek Recreation Center. Sex Addicts Anonymous. To find meeting times and locations, call 800-477-8191. Take off pounds sensibly, 9:30 a.m. First Baptist Church, 202 Summit Drive, Sanford. Tia Hart Community Recovery Program, 10 to 11 a.m. and 6 to 7 p.m. at Elwood Avenue, Rayford. This is the Southeastern North Carolina Radio Reading Service, a United Way partner agency. We broadcast from the campus of Federal State University, and our signal is carried by WUNC Chapel Hill. As a nonprofit agency, we rely on public donations. We request your support to continue our services. When making charitable donations, please keep the Southeastern North Carolina Radio Reading Service in mind. Our post office box number is 35029, Fayetteville, North Carolina. If you have any questions or comments, please call us at 910-672-1600 or toll free at 1-800-709-5656. Your radio hosts today are
Marty Baldwin
and Ralph Walkie Robertson. and we are proud to serve you today.
And here we have letters to the Observer. City hurts the poor. Why do these politicians talk a good game to get elected, and when elected they just switch to arrogance? They never campaigned on dictating people's charities. From the mayor on down to the city council, hopefully this will be your last time in office. Why are you dictating people's own hearts? It's now a crime to feed the homeless. Neither of you can be Christians, because if you were, you would know that a Christian is a follower of Christ. Christ fed the homeless and did advise us to do the same. You are all trying to force Tyrone Williams out for whatever when your sins are just as bad. There should be more important things to be done here in Fayetteville than nitpicking at those whose hearts are bigger than yours. Oh, I thought I was the only one in Fayetteville to notice the inadequacy of our elected officials. Lord save us. City silent on key issues. Well, that's what they do best. Sidewalks, resurfacing city streets, stormwater upgrade. Oh, that's only been going on for maybe 70, 80 years. All these people must live on hills. If you have any more things you want to mention, I'll do it again. Sidewalks, resurfacing city streets, stormwater, upgrades fall on deaf ears with the city council, the mayor, and the city staff. There is no plan, no public communication on how these problems will be fixed, no funding solution. The silence from our elected officials is deafening. Not addressing these issues will bite the city's economic growth. Well, it always has. But then, you know, a lot of our leaders through the years have never wanted Fayetteville to grow. We need action now. We need leadership solutions, and we need it now. From Cynthia Deere, and she's from Fayetteville. The first one, the city hurts the poor, is from Raymond Wright, also from Fayetteville. I would recommend, Cynthia and Raymond, that you do not hold your breath. Cheers and jeers. Cheers for Dogwood Festival parking fees. I don't think it was appropriate to charge for parking during the festival. This is a huge city-sponsored event. One of the few in the city which allows Fayetteville to shine. It also provides a great opportunity for folks to visit the city who otherwise probably would not visit. Vendors are solicited and encouraged to participate in the event, and visitors come from all around to enjoy the activities. And then the majority must pay to park. I read that a funnel cake vendor was told he would be charged $40 for the 4 parking spots his truck and trailer would occupy. This is ridiculous. I also read, charging for parking at the Dogwood Festival is a sign of growth. Not. It is a sign of taking advantage of good people, and it's another sign of negative that Fayetteville does not need. Lynn Autry from Bethany. Well, I just shrug my shoulders and say it's Fayetteville.
We own the sky. Pentagon wants more drones patrolling the battlefield. The military wants to put more eyes in the sky to keep American troops safe, while helping combatants scan environments for enemy targets, gather intelligence, and plot routes to traverse. We own the sky, says Staff Sergeant Adam Torres, who has deployed twice to Afghanistan as an unmanned aerial systems operator. You put a bunch of these systems out in the sky everywhere, it gives us ground forces such an advantage. You're always going to have that bodyguard for the ground force unit. More than $9 billion could be spent on unmanned aerial systems in fiscal 2019, up from the recent 2018 request of $7.5 billion. That's 3,447 new air, ground, and sea drones, according to a study by the academic nonprofit Center for the Study of the Drone, Bard College. It's the biggest unmanned system request for the Pentagon in the past 6 years. The last time the Pentagon made such a significant request was in 2012, when the Army ordered more than 1,100 RQ-11 Ravens. According to the study, at that time the Pentagon needed to fill existing requirement gaps and modernize the military's fleet of small unmanned systems. In the latest request, the Army said it wants about $1.7 billion for drones, while the Navy and Marines are seeking $3.7 billion, and the Air Force is requesting $2.6 billion. As part of the Army's request, soldiers would receive 10 MQ-IC Gray Eagles and 10 RQ-7 Shadows. In 2016, Fort Bragg's 82nd Combat Aviation Brigade accepted its first 9 Gray Eagles. Those systems, which are based at Camp McCall on the post's western training grounds, are capable of carrying Hellfire and Stinger missiles or laser-guided bombs. RQ-7 Shadow drones are smaller and used to locate and identify targets up to 125 kilometers away. They've been used by troops in Afghanistan and Iraq, amassing more than 750,000 flight hours. Torres operated both of those systems during his deployments in Afghanistan. They give the ground force commander a good operation picture so they understand what's out there, he said. It gives a good view of the battlefield. In Afghanistan, the Gray Eagles watched over troops. Among their capabilities, Gray Eagles have thermal cameras that can detect when dirt has been moved around, an invaluable tool in detecting explosives from a safe distance. He recalled one instance when a Gray Eagle detected recently overturned dirt, so the crew signaled to a convoy unit on the ground to stop. Upon closer investigation, soldiers were able to identify and dismantle the explosive before a blast could pop. It happens quite often, Torres said. It was a lot of overwatch. You could follow convoys, watch their backs, watch ahead, and look at certain areas to gather information. It would help you get a pattern of life, which is later used to help ground forces commanders so they know they're safe and don't walk into any ambushes. Gray Eagles can stay in flight up to 24 hours. Commanders like them because they can fly at a higher altitude, mitigating the risk of a man-operated aircraft that has to fly closer to the ground from getting shot down. Among the Army's other drone planes, soldiers in the new Security Force Assistance Brigade would receive about 600 Raven drones, which would train and advise partner nations on the correct use of the drones. That program has been dormant for the past 2 years. In December, SFAB units were activated at Fort Benning, Georgia, followed by Fort Bragg. Ravens have been used by infantry units on Fort Bragg since at least 2014. The Army also plans to allocate about $21.7 million for 1,084 drones for the new soldier-borne sensor program. That program will provide situational awareness in unfamiliar environments. The type of unmanned system hasn't been identified, but since they'll be used by infantry units, they have to be lightweight, easy to carry, and deployed for short-range, quick-look reconnaissance. Whatever the unmanned system, Torres said they offer a crucial advantage to American ground troops. There's many threats out there, he said. All of our operators are versed in every kind of threat. Tank, truck, they can identify them.
Wow. Here's an opinion. Lots of candidates' issues on ballots. Did you vote yet? No. Have you taken a look at the candidates and figure out who'll get your vote? We hope so. Time is getting short. The primary is next Tuesday. One-stop voting ends at 1 p.m. for Saturday. If you're not registered to vote yet, it's too late for the Tuesday primary. But One-Stop offers a way you can register and vote on the spot. The One-Stop polling places are at the Cumberland County Board of Elections office downtown, the Cliffdale Recreation Center, the North Regional Library, the Hope Mills Recreation Center, the East Regional Library, and the Grace Creek Recreation Center. The Board of Elections is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. through Friday. Other locations are open from 11:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. through Friday. All are open from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday. And the ballot? It's a sight to behold. It's a busy sight to behold. We have abundance this year in races and candidates. To find a sample of the ballot, you'll see when you go to the polls, go to the State Board of Education website and look it up. No matter where you live, there will be some important races on your ballot. The busiest and hottest race in all Cumberland County ballots is the contest for sheriff. There are 3 Democrats and 4 Republicans running to take retired Sheriff Moose Butler's place. On the Democrat ballot, that includes current Sheriff Enos Wright, who was appointed to fill Butler's unexpired term after he retired in 2016. That gave Wright some benefit of incumbency, but he's still got to rise to the challenge at the polls. He's opposed by Jeff Marks and Denny Davis. The 4 Republicans are Carlton Sally, Victor Starling, LaRue Wyndham, and Charlie Baxley. There's also a Democrat countywide contest for Clerk of Courts, pitting Eshandra Hooper against Lisa Scales, who, like Wright, was appointed to the position when her predecessor, Kim Tucker, retired. There are serious crowds of candidates seeking the 8th and 9th congressional district seats. Both represent parts of Fayetteville, though they stretch from the Charlotte area into the Cumberland County. Both incumbents, Republican Richard Hudson in the 8th and Robert Pittenger in the 9th, live in the Charlotte area, though they've been visible and active in Fayetteville since the last redistricting, including the city, in Conservative Baptist Pastor Mark Harris, who nearly upended Pittenger in the primary 2 years ago. 3 Democrats are vying to take on Hudson in November. One of the hottest district races is the Senate 21, where there's a Democrat rematch between incumbent Ben Clark and challenger Naveed Aziz. 2 years ago, Clark challenged Aziz's claim to residency in Spring Lake. This year, Aziz's allies have questioned Clark's claimed residency in Hope County. Beyond that, the two have disagreed on a host of issues may well settle the election, since the district is heavily weighted with Democrat voters. 2 Democrats are fighting to challenge Senator Wesley Meredith in North Carolina District 19. Former Fayetteville City Councilman Kirk DeVere is fighting retired Judge Ed Donaldson in a race that has taken a few nasty turns. House District 43 incumbent Democrat Elmer Floyd is facing 2 Democrat challengers, Teresa Gale, FSU student Prince Christian, and in House District 44, Patrick Petchey and Linda DeVore are battling to become the Republican challenger to incumbent Democrat Billy Richardson. All of these races are real choices. They're important, and yet primaries in this county often draw less than 10% of the registered voters. That's a surefire formula for a special interest candidate to score a victory by organizing a comparative handful of supported voters. The best antidote is a healthy turnout. In truth, the best antidote for what ails our democracy is a strong turnout too. We hope to see you at the polls next Tuesday. I think that Fayetteville and surrounding areas are the most apathetic people because
Food ad time, Harris Teeter, your Cinco de Mayo, buy 2, get 3 free with your Vic card. Marty says she'll take a friend and she'll buy the 2 and the friend will get 3 free. Buy 2, get 3 free. Wow, that's a deal.
What
2-pound
store?
bag, $21.30 count at Harris Teeter. Easy peel white shrimp. Also, Harris Teeter Rancher Value Pack, 93% lean ground beef, only $2.99. That's saved $2.70 per pound with your Vic card. What about tacos? 20.8 ounce package, Harris Teeter all natural, 93% lean ground turkey, $2.99. Limit 4 per customer. Do you like avocados? Well, then they've got them for 99 cents a piece. Farmers Market red seedless grapes, $1.49 a pound. And run on down there and pick it up at Harris Teeter. Also, Smithfield all natural boneless pork tenderloin. Yum, yum, yum. You can get some pork tenderloin. Buy one, get one free. Take a friend, let them buy, you get the one free. All right, 12-pack cans of Coca-Cola products, 4 for $10. Tostitos chips, $1.99, 9 to 13 ounce. Fresh Foods Market, pre-sliced meat and cheese, 700 milliliters of Barefoot Rex Goliath Moringa Yellowtail, 2 for $9. You know, you can't beat that, 2 for $9. Wow, 750 milliliters, they usually sell for $9 per. 12-pack Corona Modelo Dos Equis are sold $11.99. That's 12-pack. That's another good deal, folks, at Harris Teeter. What about mozzarella, mild cheddar, 6 to 8 ounce Harris Teeter shredded or chunk cheese? That's some good eating and some good steal from Harris Teeter. And Marty's got the, what have you got, Marty?
I've got 2 here. I have Sprouts, which is, I thought would be an overpriced big store, but in fact it's lovely. Here's 3 avocados, the Haas avocados, 3 for $1. Roma tomatoes, 2 for $1. Sweet corn, 5 for $1. Sweet Vidalia onions, they're white, they're really big, 2 pounds for $1. Well, you might only get 1 onion, they're so big. Bartlett or Danjou, 98 cents a pound for the pears. Red, yellow, or orange bell peppers, 98 cents each. Organic apple cider vinegar, $3.99. Simply fruit juices, 2 for $5. Let me see, I found some good buys. All natural, boneless, skinless chicken breast, $1.99 a pound. All natural choice, here's a fantastic bargain at Sprouts. 93% super lean, ground beef, no added hormones, no antibiotics, at $3.99 per pound. That's incredible. And here we have organic salads for $4.99, organic table carrots, $2.98, organic Valencia oranges, $2.98, and organic blackberries for $2.98. Also, Honeycrisp apples, $1.98 a pound. Celery or eggplant, 98 cents each. Strawberries and blueberries. Blueberries are 6 ounces. Strawberries are 1 pound, and they're 2 for $5. And there's jumbo cantaloupes for $1.98 each. Not too sure. I think that's a good price. Then there are so many other things, so many products. I think you can find what you want here at the beautiful, beautiful new Sprouts. They do sell quinoa pasta, 2 for $4. Mazzetti pasta sauce, $2.99. And dairy-free frozen desserts, $3.99. And Siggy's yogurt, 4 for $5. Silk dairy-free yogurt. How do you make? Oh, it's made with almond milk. 4 for $5. And then the bulk foods. It can be bulk rice, 25% off. Bulk dried fruit, 35% off. Bulk granola, 25% off. Quinoa or chia seeds, $2.49 a pound. Australian licorice that looks red, $4.99 a pound. Whole cashews, $7.99 a pound. mixed nuts without the peanuts. On the back we have London broil, $4.99 a pound. Tilapia fillets, $6.99 a pound. Choice marinated carne asada, made fresh in the store daily using all natural beef. It sounds like a Japanese sliced beef. I'm going to go in there and check that out. Beef stew, $4.99 a pound. Top sirloin steaks, $8.99 a pound. Bear Mountain bison, and that will be their bricks, like we often buy our ground beef. That's $9.99 each. Also, a nice selection of beer and wine, multigrain, and other nice breads for $3.49. And there are sweets and mild cheese and Black Forest ham already cut. Del Real Foods fire roasted salsa and roasted turkey, $6.99 each. What a bargain at Sprouts.
What about Food Line? Let's run on down to Food Line. Savor Spring Flavors. How you like that? Savor Spring Flavors. Hot sale, $6.99 a pound beef T-bone steak. That is a good deal for a T-bone steak, and they are good. Food Line chicken drumsticks are $5.99 a pound. Hillshire Farm meat or beef roast sausage, $2. 2 for $5. And also you've got all kind of stuff here at Food Line. You've got free Doritos tortilla chips, buy one get one free. Kraft mayonnaise or Miracle Whip, 30 ounces, only 2 for $6. That's a pretty good deal there. Also, you got a hot sale St. Louis style pork ribs, $1.99 a pound. Hot sale, 99 cents a pound. And you got hot sale, $2.99 each. Vidalia onions, that's a 5-pound bag, folks, that you get for $2.99. Food Line cooked ham in the deli, $3.99 a pound. What about Bud Miller or Coors, 18-pack, 12-ounce bottles or cans, select varieties, $12.99. 18-pack, less than $1 a beer. Can't beat that. 3 for $9, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, select varieties, Pepsi products. All this at the Food Line. This concludes our reading of the Federal Observer. Your radio hosts have been
Marty Baldwin
and Ralph Walkie Robertson. For our radio listeners, we will now join the Raleigh Network for additional programs. Thank you, Guy, and our YouTube listeners for tuning in. We've enjoyed being with you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Okay.
We off. We off the air. Oh, Lord. So you like Sprout? Think the prices are good there?
I think they're quite wonderful, actually. I was expecting an overpriced store for the millionaires in town.
Would you compare it to Food Line?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a great big fan of Food Line. I have to go in there once in a while because it's the nearest grocery store.
Called the what?
It's the nearest one. But I see these food stamp people buying the most expensive, wonderful beef. And of course they buy a lot of pork, but I don't eat pork, so.
You don't eat pork?
Mm-mm.
Are you Muslim?
Yeah, sure.
Why don't you eat pork?
And for health reasons.
Health reasons, okay.
Okay, let's see. Oh, heavens to Betsy.
Well, let's hit the road, Jack.
I'm working on it. Let's see, it's going to be in the 80s all week.
Yeah, this will be 91.
And I didn't see any 91s. 87, 89, 86, 83.
Oh, okay.
80,
Yesterday they were showing 91.
Well,
Saturday.
I don't know. Well, whatever.
They changed it. Now you can't.
Now I can't go out and wear my short shorts, huh?
One on a last-second dunk by the Wolfpack's Lorenzo Charles, with Valvano's head mad spinning dash about the court, moments frozen forever in time. Today, those who come to Valvano's gravesite may notice a headstone with an NC State insignia close by, just down a grassy slope. Charles died in a bus accident in June 2011. He too was 47. With the passing of time, Valvano's legacy has evolved from dynamic college coach to the dying man making a remarkable ESPY speech to someone who championed the creation of the Foundation for Cancer